time to bid goodbye to the old and the ordinary, and to awaken the beauty within. That time is now. It is time to wake up and take charge of life. Awaken to a new way of thinking. Awakening with Brahmakumaris.
परमात्मा प्यार के अमृत से सच्ची मन की शांति को अनुभव कर अपने दिन की शुभ शुरुआत करें। हमारे साथ अमृत वेला में हर रोज प्रातः 4 बजे सिर्फ पीस ऑफ माइंड चैनल पर।
कर ले बंदे ये शुभ काम।
Namaskar, welcome to Soul Connections and Awakening with Brahmakumaris. We have Sister Shivani with us. Namaskar.
Om Shanti.
Welcome and Om Shanti.
Thank you so much.
We've been talking about relationships, and it was wonderful to know a lot of things about the children and the father, mother, marriage, and I also feel we must talk about a daughter getting married and how the parents feel. We've been talking about the in-laws when a daughter-in-law comes in, but what about the parents of the daughter who goes? And also, sister, I wanted to ask you one more important question, because after talking to you, I tried this detachment. You know, either I get confused in being a little indifferent, or forcing myself, or becoming something like artificial. That detachment is, I'm putting too much of effort to that. Can you just explain these two things?
It's very beautifully connected, because especially in the relationship that you just took up, is that when children get married, one is when the daughter-in-law comes to our house, it's a different mindset. And there we saw last time that it's a very subtle power game, unaware power game actually, which creates fear, which creates negativity. But in case of a daughter getting married and leaving the house, then it's a very strong attachment game.
Okay.
Which creates a lot of negative energy, even though we've lived with a very strong belief system that attachment is good. But we can see it practically before us, how attachment can make things go in totally the wrong direction. And then that's why detachment, and it's not in just a parent-child relationship, it is detachment in every relationship, because it's basically detachment is when the connection is between a soul and a soul.
Right.
It's detachment. But when the relationship is between a parent and a child, a husband and a wife, a friend and a friend, then there's attachment.
Okay, so let me just repeat, because this is wonderful. I never thought this side of the idea, because I was getting too confused with the words, like labels you say, brother, sister, lover, father, mother. So labels. So these words also got a kind of labels for me. Attachment, detachment, spirituality, you know, all these things. So what you said just now is very nice. You mean to say when there's a soul-to-soul connection, then that is detachment. And body conscious or a relationship without the soul, only with the labels, that is attachment.
It's very easy to check whether I'm detached or no. We need to check. One is to check whether this is attachment or detachment, because we wouldn't even come to know, because either it's attachment or it's love, and love is detachment. So we need to check, very subtle, in every situation, every scene, is this attachment, is this love? Is this attachment, is this love? Because otherwise we could be doing a lot of things in the name of love, but actually it's attachment.
How do you find the difference?
Okay, let's say for example, your daughter is married, and suppose she's going through a little up and down in her new house, a new set of relationships, a new environment, which is going to happen anyways. And today a soul doesn't have enough power to cope up with change and pressures and new challenges, so it tends to get agitated or
Disturbed.
upset a little soon. And now suppose your daughter has to call you up or come over home and go on and on and on talking about everything that's happening
She's not
in the new
comfortable,
set.
yeah.
In the new set of relationships. And she probably even can start crying, talking about it, and then she can go on, my mother-in-law is like this and my father-in-law is like this, and then my husband also doesn't support me when they say something like this. He also seems to be on their side. It's a whole nice drama. It's a whole script that
Very
is being...
common.
Yeah, and the child is right because the child wants to obviously share it with her parents.
But she's been pampered all her life with parents, so she finds something different there, and she comes as kinds of shares it with you.
Yeah, which is fine.
And now how to take that, how to react.
Yeah. So how do we normally react? Now imagine the scene, the daughter coming home with tears in her eyes and with this whole script to narrate how the world is being unfair to her. It's actually, the picture comes out to be as if that whole set of people over there are being so unfair to me and I'm not happy. Obviously, that's why I'm crying. So how does a parent feel when they see the child like this?
But 60 years back, if you see this in a movie, they'll say, "Oh woman, thy name is, sacrifice is thy name.
Yeah.
This is what a woman should undergo," and all those things, and we make them weaker.
But how would a parent now react to this daughter crying?
Two ways. One is to start crying and say, "Okay, whatever you say is right. Why don't you give him back? Give them back. Make them feel understand. I'm going to talk to them. I'll show them whose daughter she is." All those things. The other way is to give her a lot of love first. Give her a glass of water. Give her something to eat. Make her calm down, and then explain.
First thing is immediately to check what happens here for the parent.
Yeah.
Parent. If there is pain here, she's upset,
Whether
and I
have the pain,
fluctuate.
pain.
Whether the mind goes, my daughter is in pain. They are not being nice to her. Where have I sent her? How will she manage for the rest of her life? I will have to do something for things to work out properly. Her mother-in-law shouldn't have done this. She shouldn't have said this. The sister-in-law is like this. The brother-in-law is like this. This fluctuation means I am attached, and therefore her pain is
my
now
pain.
my pain. See, whenever there is attachment, we are not able to have independent feelings. When two people are
You are
attached,
in pain, so I'm in pain.
It will happen immediately. You won't even, have the time to pause and check and consciously choose how you're going to feel. So when you see another person in pain or hurt or anger or depressed, there's pain here because we are attached. And very soon, it's like an emotional drama in the house. And everyone else gets sucked into the emotions of the daughter.
Pain. Yeah.
Whether it's the parents, whether it's another brother, another sister. And very soon what we would call is one huge emotional drama goes on in the house where everyone is creating this high voltage energy. Everyone's in pain. Result,
Double pain.
she came in pain
And the
and she
pain
got
is
so much
increased.
pain. And most important, she got justification that what she is thinking and how she is feeling
is
right. So when she goes back there, she's finally going to go back today or tomorrow or next month or whenever. When she goes back with this reaffirmation, I am right. It's this family which is not right. It's my mother-in-law who was making a mistake because my parents, who are always right, have just said so too. That's all I need.
parents who have been always right
Have
from
just
childhood.
said, yeah.
The child has that in her mind.
Always.
That my parents are always right.
Yes.
And now they said, they confirmed that what I am going through is right.
Right.
So the pain is right. And my in-laws and my husband and my brother, they're all wrong.
The daughter goes back there again with this thought, whatever I'm feeling is right, my pain is justified, it's they who are not right. How much will she be able to manage now in that environment? Living with this energy.
She's going to give that energy to
She's not
everyone.
only going to give that energy. In every situation that comes before her, the thought process is going to be, they are the ones who are not behaving properly. They are the ones who are doing this. They are the ones who are trying to control their son. They are the ones because of whom my life is miserable. And she gets into this vicious cycle of pain, which can go on for... Now the role of the parents when the daughter had come home, and in any relationship, if you find one person emotionally very disturbed, please take care. However insensitive it might appear to be, let's not get sucked into that. It's very, very damaging for the parent and for the child and for the whole new set of relationships. Just that time. We have to practice this. Otherwise, it's really downslide after that. If this thing begins, the child coming home, narrating this, the parents reaffirming that you are right, again going back, she's going to have more problems. She's going to be back with you very soon with another story.
So
and again
with pain.
And every time she creates pain, her immunity system is reducing. And the next time, a smaller situation also will trigger more amount of pain. And then her pain will trigger more in us. And very soon, situation will be only this much. That is why divorces will happen today.
Situation will be this much, reaction will be too big.
There's no size of a situation actually. There's no size. So now...
In any situation, sister, you've got a beautiful point here. That basically, finally, you see that you make a mountain out of a small, this thing.
The size of the situation is as big as my thought wants to make it.
Yes, you can increase it as much as you want.
Yeah, you can be absolutely stable in a crisis. And that crisis will seem nothing to you because you are stable. See, the situation doesn't have any thoughts and feelings and emotions. It's here. So it's how I feel in that situation which makes the situation big and small. If I'm stable, I'll say, no big deal.
But the same situation, two different people
will respond differently.
And find, one will say it's just such a small thing.
Absolutely.
One will say, what do you mean? Small thing? This has happened and you call this small?
What is that person trying to do? That person is trying to say, how can you remain stable in this situation when I am so low? This is what's going to happen. If the daughter comes home and she makes the situation very big, even if the situation is so-called very big, if a parent is able to remain stable and not create the same emotions as the child, take lot of care of yourself, your volume, your way of talking. Let it not go like this, out of control. She's crying, shouting, howling. Yes, we're listening. Continue. Go on, talk. Say everything you want to say.
We had a small tragedy at home, and first day we were all shaken, and we started almost a lot of people were crying. There a lot of emotion. Next day, you know, something happened to me, and I said, let's go for lunch. I started laughing, joking, and making the whole thing, showing the whole thing as a positive thing happened. Something that is so good for you. And I proved it so right that we all went for lunch.
Only one person is needed to do this.
We all went for a beautiful family lunch as if it's somebody's birthday party.
So it's not the size of the situation.
No, but it really, I showed the right things about it. I said, look at the positive side of this.
If we can remain detached in the situation like you said right now, you can see the positivity in the situation. You can see the good in that situation because there's always a good.
And not only one person sees, everybody starts seeing.
If one person sees something, they can show it to everyone, no?
Yeah, but other people also, they start believing it. Nobody ever objects to it.
Nobody will, provided that one person is absolutely stable and is 100% convinced about that good in that situation. It's your power of conviction. You know, people say power of convincing. It's a power of convincing.
Achha.
It's the power of your own conviction.
Yeah.
It's not about convincing other people. You don't need to convince other people. If you're convinced, they will agree. But if there is a doubt in my own self, it's like if I'm disturbed and I'll say, no, but there will be some good. Yes, this is good, it's not so bad. But internally, but actually this shouldn't have happened this way. This is not nice what happened. But you know what, it's not very bad, it's fine. Then I have to do a lot of
Something or the other must be good in this.
There's little hurt, the little hurt inside, but I'm trying to be positive, which is also good effort.
Yeah.
But then it becomes difficult to convince people, and then we have to make a lot of effort to convince them because we are not convinced. And once we are convinced, don't have to do anything, because your energy, your vibration travels before your words. So doubt internal and trying to convince outside, no result. Conviction, not too many words needed. So then it becomes very easy. So, but sometimes what happens that the person who's in pain, and when they have this parent or friend or partner who's just remaining very detached and not getting sucked into the pain, it aggravates their pain, because they feel here the world is unfair to me, and here these people also don't care for me.
You too, Brutus. Even my family is doing that.
Yeah.
My father, mother, you can't understand my pain.
Yeah, and then that person feels that I'm all alone. Nobody loves me, not those people, not these people, I'm all alone, and they'll cry even louder.
But you can convince them.
Don't convince. They cannot get convinced at that time.
Then
When anyone is in pain, there's very little understanding that can happen that time. All that is needed that time is first, lots of vibrations. And most important, because
vibrations of what? Love?
stability, lot of stability is needed. Because when you see your child in pain, attachment is very strong. It's like one tip and we'll go sucked in that side. So right now, don't think about taking care of the child. But we think that we have to take care of the child. You know, when we travel by air, and the air hostess will give an instruction in the beginning. If there's a little turbulence and the oxygen mask falls down, please use the oxygen mask first for yourself, then for your child. Let's visualize. What if we were in the aircraft and the oxygen mask falls down? Do I have that courage to use the oxygen mask first for myself and then for the child?
No.
This is detachment. Use the oxygen mask first for yourself, but attachment will be oxygen mask first for the child, and in the process, both are going to suffer.
Yeah.
So when your daughter or anybody like this so close is in pain, don't think of taking care of them right now emotionally. Think of how to take care of myself, how I have to remain stable, because taking care of myself is the biggest care I can do for them. Not creating more pain to their pain, but instead sending vibrations of power is the biggest support I can give to my child.
How does one send vibrations of power?
Just by not getting upset, that's all.
That is the meaning of sending vibrations.
Yeah, it's always going to be one. Either you're upset or you're fine. Either you're powerful or you're weak. So if you just take care that I'm not weak, I will not go, you know, like you said, that this situation happened. First day, everybody was a little upset. So everyone was upset. And then the next day, you worked on yourself and you said, I am fine. So you're basically sending vibrations of power means what? That yesterday I was upset, today I'm fine. And now because
yesterday I was not upset, I was not convinced. My conviction was.
So the next day, all that it takes is for a person to just sit back and work on themselves. That this is not going to get anywhere. This is what is needed. But the knowledge that stability is not insensitive. Stability is not being cold. Even if the person over there...
Stability is strength here.
Stability is strength. They might accuse you. They might accuse you at that time. They might be very rude at that time and say, you're so cold, you don't take care of me, you're not, you know, you don't love me anymore.
You
They
don't
can
seem
say
to be
everything.
upset.
They can say everything because they're in a lot of pain. Don't get sucked in. Now what happens, because I don't get sucked in and I'm stable, I'm not biased. Normally, parents would get very biased and prejudiced. And then they will never be able to give the right advice to the child. If the parent is biased and they can only see that the daughter is right, and automatically if the daughter is right, then the rest of the family is not very right. And in that situation, what kind of advice will they give the daughter? Would it be healthy for her?
In which you're talking about the situation.
If the parents are attached to the daughter and they go in pain when she is upset, then whatever problem she's come to them with, they're going to be prejudiced about it. You know, it's like the parent is the judge.
So they're adding the pain.
No, they're adding the pain, that's fine. Let's say you're the father, okay? So you're the judge.
Okay.
And I'm the daughter, I come to you. And it's like I am one lawyer and I'm fighting the case with another lawyer. The other lawyer is my in-laws. So I present two sides to you, but the other side is not here. So I am telling you both the sides.
So what is my first thing is to call the other side to listen.
Suppose you can't call the other side. You can't call. No, for everything you can't keep on calling the daughters-in-laws and ask them, what is your perspective? Can't do that
And
for
then
everything.
what do you do?
So I show you both the sides.
So I'll have to be detached and see?
Yeah, but if you're attached, then you will always be biased and thinking that the daughter, whatever she's saying, is absolutely right.
We come back to the same thing like a doctor cannot operate her own child, his own child.
Exactly. But now if you're detached, and the role of a guide at this time is, even if you're seeing, even in a detached way, if you can see that, you know, it's the family which is probably going wrong somewhere, your role as a guide is not to talk about the family.
And not against them, but
not against and not even about them.
But we could teach her to heal them.
We have to teach her what is her perspective, how she has to work and change on herself to make things work. She will come and say, but you don't know, they did this, they did this, they did this. Don't listen to the script for very long. You say, okay, they did this. Now, what are you supposed to do?
You work on this, and so that they are healed.
There is no point going on talking about the other actors because we can do nothing about them. We cannot control them. But normally our conversations are always about the people who are not there. The conversation should be, okay, fine, this is what is happening. What are you going to do in this situation? Let's talk only about that. This is called working towards the solution, not discussing the problem. Normally we'll keep on discussing the problem because we're discussing the other people. So it's very important to be unbiased and to see the case in its absolute true light. Because then you'll be giving very good advice. Then you will be healing her. Then you will be giving
the right
her
advice then.
Yes. It will be the solution. You'll send her back with power to work on herself.
So you're converting her from a victim of pain to a healer.
To a master.
Healer, master is a healer.
Absolutely. If she goes back with this conviction that she has the power to change the situation and the relationships to what she wants to make them to be, she'll start working in that direction. Rather than going back with the feeling, I am a victim, they are the ones who are wrong, my family also feels the same, then every 2 days she'll be in our house to tell us how she is being hurt and cheated, and she can come up with a story every day because everyone has a story around them.
One question, sister, here. When we are sending the daughter back with a lot of empower her and give her a lot of power and give her understanding and make her a master, and when she goes, when she came first time to us with a lot of problems, what was that she must have created something around her that they reacted, or those people are like that?
That's what we said. It's nothing about what she must have done or the people are like that. Everyone is right from their perspective, no? It's just that they both still do not have the right energy exchange and both are sending vibrations of negativity. One person has to break the cycle. So the role of the parent is to empower the daughter to break that cycle.
Let's do a small meditation on this.
Let me take a moment to detach from the environment the world around me, people around me, detach from my own emotions and thoughts, and just be with myself. I, the pure conscient being. This is who I am, and this is my quality. There are people around me who are in pain. They are relationships very near and dear to me. They need support and understanding. My responsibility. Step back from the scene. Stand as an audience in the drama and look at the role of every actor. Unbiased, detached. And as I stand in the audience, I can see the scene in its right perspective. And as I remain connected to my core being, powerful and in control, I send vibrations of love and power to the soul in pain. My stability becomes their strength. My compassion becomes empowerment for them. This is my responsibility in my relationships. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
When our connection is soul to soul, then it is detachment. If the connection is label to label, then it is attachment. When we are detached, we are stable in our interactions. When there is attachment, we get emotionally disturbed in response to others' pain. When someone shares their problems and they are in pain, if we also create pain, then they feel their pain is justified. They then do not find a need to change. We're also adding pain to their existing pain by creating and transmitting the same vibrations. If we remain detached, that is emotionally stable, we are able to see the situation with an unbiased perspective, transmit powerful vibrations to the other person, and share with them their role